Bungie is an extremely scummy company that over the years has been accused of plagiarism on several occasions, and each and every time they just push off the blame. They take no accountability for their employees' actions, and now this situation has absolutely exploded on social media where they've gotten caught. They've apologized, but it looks like Marathon might be dead. I have a few different things to show off, but before I get into the topic, if you enjoy the content I create, check out the links in the description, join the community in my live streams, and consider supporting through Patreon or YouTube memberships. Now, if we were just talking about, oh, a certain sticker in a game or a certain logo in the game was stolen, I still think that this game could exist, but we are talking about an entire design aesthetic with this title that has been stolen, and I personally don't know how Bungie is going to come back from this. Are they going to put $100 million into completely rebooting this game and changing the aesthetics? Are they going to actually fairly pay this artist who they've stolen from? Who knows, but it's definitely not looking good for them. So let's head on over to this VG247 article. It says Bungie accused of plagiarizing art yet again, but blames all the alleged Marathon art theft on a former employee, which is complete and utter BS because interestingly enough, we have this individual, Joseph Cross, who is a current franchise art director at Bungie for Marathon, and they actually followed Anti-Real, the artist who was stolen from. So clearly, this art director, who is still working at Bungie, knew of this artist's creation, so it's not a former employee. It says, though, Bungie has been accused yet again of plagiarizing art, this time for its upcoming extraction shooter Marathon. It seems that they took this artist's work and they put it into an AI, and the AI was basically supposed to get rid of any defining marks like watermarks or certain words, and it completely failed at that. Luckily, so that we can actually call Bungie out on their BS, it says, though, the artist making these claims, Anti-Real, posted comparisons between their own futuristic works with assets found within the Marathon Alpha and official art released by the studio, highlighting similarities. We are talking about a studio that has over 800 employees. Okay, if you are stealing art and an entire aesthetic for your game, what the hell are your employees actually doing besides twiddling their thumbs and posting on Blue Sky about their activism? It says this all kicked up late last evening as Anti-Real took to social media to present the world with a collection of side-by-side comparisons between original art they've made over the years, to both screenshots from the game and official Marathon material from the website and press kits. It is so unfortunate to actually see this happening because, of course, I want every single artist to get the recognition they deserve. I want every single artist to be paid fairly. And a company like Bungie has done this multiple times. It's clear that they are not changing the company mentality and they're not hiring talented workers. They're simply hoping we don't get caught, but every single time that happens. So they had posted the Marathon Alpha release recently, and its environments are covered with assets lifted from poster designs I made in 2017. I mean, we are talking about full-blown words and phrases being used. We're talking about certain images, logos, and even little, as you can see at the bottom, like the little squares. Just little designs that, of course, bring the aesthetic together that are extremely important. I mean, this right here just proves it all to me. It says, Bungie is of course not obligated to hire me when making a game that draws overwhelmingly from the same design language I have refined for the last decade, but clearly my work was good enough to pillage for ideas and plaster all over their game without pay or attribution. And what was Bungie's response? It was basically, sorry, we got caught. We immediately investigated a concern regarding unauthorized use of art decals in Marathon and confirmed that a former Bungie artist included these in a texture sheet that was ultimately used in-game. Press X to doubt. This issue was unknown by our existing art team, and we are still reviewing how this oversight occurred. We take matters like this very seriously, and we have reached out to the artist to discuss this issue and are committed to do right by the artist. As a matter of policy, we do not use the work of artists without their permission, even though you've tried that multiple times. And this section right here is truly what infuriates me the most. We value the creativity and dedication of all artists who contribute to our games, and we are committed to doing right by them. This person wasn't one of your artists. This person did not choose to contribute to your game. Now, of course, they could take the money that Bungie offers them and make a deal with Bungie, and then you would be able to say that they contributed to your game, but you did not do right by them by literally stealing their work. And I don't want to, sit here and obviously say this person would not be getting the attention that they deserve without Bungie. But on the flip side, they are getting a lot of attention right now because of this, which is good. They deserve to be able to defend their work, and so many people are defending their work as well, which is fantastic to see. But just because a company like Bungie sees your work and says, this is pretty good, let's take it, that's not actually flattering the way that companies feel that it is. It's just so sad to see this happen. I mean, this one right here is extremely bad. You can see that like the AI clearly tried to wipe away the text, but it didn't work. You can see the A, you can really see the word anti, you can see the D for the daily, you can see the IES for series. I mean, it's clear as day that this was lifted from their social media, and that sucked. I hate to see this happening. And Marathon can say all they want, and the Bungie devs can say all they want. Oh, it was just a big mistake, but it is the entire aesthetic of their game. So what's going to happen now? Are they going to change the aesthetic if this artist says, I don't actually want to work with you? Or are they going to have to pay so much money to keep this aesthetic that it might end up even hurting the development cycle? Who knows? If I was Bungie right now with the amount of attention this is getting on social media, though, I would be extremely worried. And unfortunately, this gets worse because you all know that I dislike video game journalists. I do not trust them. And DualShockers actually put out an article with a fake quote. It says, I'm completely floored, she wrote. This is my full-time job. I sell these posters online. They're not obscure. A major company has deemed it easier to pay a designer to imitate or trace rather than license or commission the work. And Anti-Real had said, insane fake quote, I am unemployed. So DualShockers is straight up lying to get a few more clicks, and it's just game journalists embarrassing themselves again. Another day that ends with a Y. I'm so sad for this person that not only do they have a company like Bungie stealing their art, but also the mainstream media not defending them truthfully. It also really sucks to know that some employee, whether they are a current or a former Bungie employee, got paid a salary. They got paid to steal artwork. Will they ever find out specifically who it was? No clue, but I really hope they do, and that person does not deserve to have a job within this industry ever again. And Bungie is getting kind of roasted at this point because there's nobody on their side. How is it you have 800 plus employees, maybe a few hundred artists, and you have to outsource to another company for design because no one could apparently figure out how to draw rectangles, arrows, and ambiguous text symbols that are popular in the subgenre? How is this also isn't the first time this has happened? Yeah, I mean, I completely agree. So are we going to act like this isn't the first time? Bungie's really going to act like we don't have the receipts of them doing this to the point where it's not even a whoopsie. It's just outright becoming a consistent thing. 2021, 2023, 2024, 2025, and these are just the ones that have been found. Never mind art that they could have stolen that people never had noticed. What about the current Marathon employees and art team that literally followed the artists on this app? Your whole art team follows the artist that has been developing this art style for like 10 plus years, and you don't think to give them any attribution? This isn't an oopsie you can blame on a former employee. Your current employees follow the small artist with a niche style, and then you just coincidentally happen to launch an entire game themed after it, not buying it, which of course is just sad to see. So I'm hoping that over the next couple of days we get some news from Anti-Real feel about this. I know Bungie's statement is not sitting well with gamers right now, and I, of course, will be keeping my eye on this. I hope that they get the credit that they deserve. I hope that they get a big, fat paycheck from Bungie, but at this point, I'm even wondering if Marathon is even going to come out at all, because the alpha did not go well. It had less than 7,000 players in it. There were lots of complaints levied towards Bungie, and now we also have this art scandal. I'm just not sure if we're ever going to see it actually be launched. But that's all that I really had to discuss at this point. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a like, and if you didn't, give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I'll talk to you all again in the next video really soon.